Hi there, this is Brenda with Keenan Kreations, and today I'm going to show you how to make this card using a stamp from the Work of Art stamp set to give you the watercolor wash look. To get started, we're going to use Whisper White cardstock, and this measures 3 5/8 by 3 5/8. We're going to use a stamp set called a Work of Art, and this little swoosh image right here. We're going to use Pear Pizzazz ink, and you're going to tap your stamp across the ink pad, and we're going to line up the bottom of this little swoop to the bottom of the cardstock and try to center it left to right and press firmly. Our next color is Soft Sky, and you want to be sure and clean your stamp in between colors and just tap this across your ink pad. When I line this up, I'm looking at the bottom edge of the foam, and I can line it up to the top part of that swoosh, but I actually want to bring it down to that little solid part right there. So first I line it up to the top, and then I bring it down and press firmly. And repeat that 2 more times. The next image we're going to stamp is from a set called Thoughts and Prayers, and I ordered this one quite a while back, and at the time the wood mount set came double mounted, so I have one image on one side and one on the other. We're going to use Early Espresso ink, and I'm going to leave the stamp on the table and pat the ink pad to the stamp. This will prevent a lot of the ink getting in this open area on the bottom corners. Now, one thing I found with this stamp is these leaves that are at the very top of the wood block, I have to remember to press firmly on the other side or they won't stamp. So I'm just going to center this top to bottom and left to right, and when I place it down, I'm going to hold with one hand and press with the other, but I want to pay extra careful attention to pressing at the top for those leaves that are at the very top. And then lift that up. We're going to add adhesive and layer this right on top of Early Espresso cardstock. And the Early Espresso cardstock is cut just a smidgen wider. So this is cut 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I'm gently tugging this up because I got a little bit crooked here. So I'm going to try to fix that. We're going to layer onto Pear Pizzazz cardstock, and this is cut 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored down the middle at 4 1/4. And when you fold that over, just make sure everything lines up nice and neat. We're going to add a strip of the Designer Series paper stack, and this is Pear Pizzazz. You could use either side. And I go all the way to the edges. We're going to use Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to center this mostly at the top, so it's going to be about maybe 1/4 inch from the sides and the top. For the greeting, we're going to use a stamp set called A Dozen Thoughts. We're going back to Early Espresso ink. Now see how this is kind of moving a little bit? So I like to open this completely flat so it doesn't accidentally hit my stamp before I'm ready. So just tap, tap, and I'm going to the bottom right. And these long skinny stamps, I press down and do just a little wiggle. Now I have some tiny little pearls here, so I'm going to add just a couple of them randomly in the tree. These little pearls are all connected, and I want to have a little strand so it looks like it's going all the way from the top to the bottom. Now this gets covered up, so obviously we only need the pearls here and here. You can use your scissors to snip these apart, so I'm going to go 3 for the top, and then I'm just going to kind of measure about how many I need here. So now you can lift these up where they're all together. And I'm just going to go underneath. Oh, I probably only needed 2 here, but shoot. Well, let's see if I can get that under there. Yep, I only needed 2, but that's okay. And then we're going to lift this up. So I just kind of scoot the pokey tool under until the whole thing lifts up. And I'm going to go underneath. So I'm going to lift that up a little bit just to get that in the right spot. And then press that down. So these are a couple of other variations of the same card. This one I just added some linen thread, and the sky is stamped in Marina Mist. And this one I added some of the early espresso cotton ribbon, and the sky is stamped in Pool Party. Now I wanted to show you what happened when I tied this cotton ribbon around the card, because I try to be careful to have everything nice and neat and straight, and I got this cute little ribbon. It's perfect. And I open the card and I have this. Well, I don't want to untie it and tie it again, so because I have this piece that's going to go over the front, I'm going to cut it here, add a glue dot to the end, and then straighten this out on the inside so it's nice and neat, and then we'll add a glue dot to this end. And nobody will ever know. I hope you enjoyed today's project. For more ideas, please visit me at KeenanCreations.com. Thanks and have a great day.